Good morning guys, it's Steve here, 26 November Echo 34. Welcome back to the channel. Today's date is the 12th of January, so Happy New Year to everybody if you're tuning in for the first time this year. Lots and lots going on behind the scenes here. Some upgrades to my shack. Today we're going to be looking at the Wi-Fi controller for the Yaesu G-1000 Rotator. So basically, I have a beam. I have a Serio 3-element Yagi beam. It's about 26 feet up in the air. And there was lots of cables coming into the house. So I don't have a controller for it in the house. However, it is all located in the garage. And I will show you that very shortly. But basically, this is it. This is part of the system anyway. And I can control it all via my laptop on this system in front of me. And yeah, it seems to be working absolutely spot on. There is another video coming out with how to wire it up, where to purchase it from, etc, etc. But this is just to show you it actually working. So you have my QTH up there where the red dot is, and then you have the green line coming all the way down through Africa, and that is the direction which my beam is pointing. So, and up at the top right hand corner there we have a little control panel of which way that the beam can point. So basically up here on the right hand side we have the 11 meters DXC, and all I have to do is type in the actual division number and press go, and it will rotate the antenna round to that division. I can also set some presets. So I've got Japan sitting there, Eastern Australia, Western Australia, South Africa, Spain, Tenerife, Argentina, Brazil, Venezuela, Mexico, USA and Iceland. So I know I can click on one of them and the antenna will rotate and point it towards that division. It tells you the distance in miles, or you can change that to kilometers, and you can put in somebody's QTH locator and it will point the beam directly towards that person's locator, and it tells you the time there in UTC. We can also stop the antenna here. We can program in the actual degrees we want it to point in, and I'm not 100% sure what the 152 means yet. I'm still working out. I've only had this up and running for about 5 or 6 days, so I'm still learning to play with it and find out what's what. But so far there is no complaints. So mileage, QTH locator, stop, how we can change it manually to an actual degrees. And then on a night time when I finish using my radio and I unplug the quacks and hide it back into the box outside, I can press the park button here, and that there will rotate my beam round into a position which I like to leave it in when the radio is not in use. And then I haven't worked out what SP, part of it I think is that short pass or long pass. I think you might be able to change that, but again I'm still working my head around it myself. And the wind one here, you can automatically set this so your system knows the WX within your division and where you are, and it will rotate the antenna into the wind just to try and prevent any damage. But I'm not going to be setting any of that up. And then over here we have the actual degrees map, and it will tell you where it's pointing. Okay, so yeah, so this is it. We can zoom in and out on the map. So let me just take a seat and I will show you. So at the moment we can see that we can zoom right in, and this is the path in which it's taken, or which the antenna is pointing to. Okay, so, and if you zoom all the way out it just gives you multiple maps, but obviously we only want to be working on one. But that is it basically in a nutshell. So let's have a look on the radio and we'll see who we can hear, if there's anyone on. So I'll tell you what, let's go down to 555. So I was flicking through the frequency there, I can't hear anybody on at all. So I know there's always a guy on in Romania in the 233 division. So I'm just going to type in there. So and then we're going to type 233 and it comes up that it's in Romania, and I'm just going to press go. And if you watch here, it selects where the antenna is going to go. So I'll zoom in so you can see, and you can see the antenna beam actually moving around. And sometimes it will stop a little bit short. But this is where I'm still trying to work out. So there, to me it looks as though it's skimming over the bottom half of Romania. So let's just move this little bit up a little bit to pop it into the Ukraine and see how far the green then goes. So that's bang on through the middle of Romania. So, and that is at 90, well, let's say another 100 degrees. So I think there's a slight offset difference between my beam and the actual direction. So so that's going to take a little bit of playing away. Like I say, it's only been in operation for about 6 days or so. So yeah, I will get that sorted at some point, and for anybody who wants to upgrade their rotator system to make it Wi-Fi, I will let you know the fixes that's worked for me. Not necessarily going to say that it's going to work for you. You know, at the end of the day, I am not an expert on this. This is purely my own learning. This is my own radio journey, if you like. So, you know, I'm not an expert in any field. It is very much trial and error for me. I'm not an electronic expert. I'm not a radio expert. So yeah. So we've got that pointing at Romania, and it's 100 degrees. So let's have another flick through. Okay, so I can't hear anybody out there at all. The band might not be open in the 2.6 division at the moment. So let me get my microphone and just give a shout out on 555. See what I get back. CQ, 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 26 November Echo 34, 26 November Echo 34, calling and standing by for possible contact. Please QSY to 27 decimal 550. Please QSY to 27 decimal 550. QRZ. So just change down to 550, give it a few seconds. CQ, 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 26 November Echo 34, 26 November Echo 34, calling and standing by for possible contact. QRZ. And so far there is nobody on the band. Have a quick flick through the frequency. Watching 675, don't know what that is. Just trying to find somebody where if the antenna is slightly off from their division, I can rotate the antenna around. Yeah, not a clue. So we're all the way down at the very bottom of the 27 megahertz, going into 26. So what I have on my radio is I have a section where you can actually record what you want to say and just play it. So I don't then have to keep on shouting and shouting all the time. I just let the recording do it. So let's have a go at the recording. So there you go, you can hear me shouting CQ, but I'm not actually shouting it. It's the radio that's done it because I've actually saved it on my radio. So let's see if anybody comes back.
QSY to 27 decimal 550. Please QSY to 27 decimal 550.
So that's it down there, and then again I've got another one recorded where again I can just press the button and it gives another shout out, and then I don't have to do it because I've only had to record it once. Saves my voice.
Calling and standing by for possible contact. QRZ.
So literally, so let's check cluster DX. Let's see if there's anybody spotting on cluster. So click home on cluster DX. There's not many stations on, to be fair. Yeah, there's no stations on in the UK. We've got 233 division 680. He's on. So let's go to 680. At 665.
Είχα ένα θέμα με το ρελέ πίσω, έπρεπε να κάνω μια μετατροπή, γιατί...
So there's 680. So he's talking to, well, he's having a QSO with somebody in the 14 division, which is France. And there's a few stations on here. Talking to Africa on 530, but I've already been on 530 and I had the antenna pointing towards Africa and there was nobody on, so the conditions just might not be there at the moment. So yeah, so basically what I'm going to do now then, I'm going to go out and I'm going to show you the rotator system. What I'll do is I'm going to set the rotator round to 0, so it's pointing north. So go up there, press 0. Click go and put my radio back on to 555, and as you can see there, as the antenna rotates around, and up here you can see it counting down, and it'll stop at about 7 degrees, I think it is. So there's about a 7-degree drift, but again I'm gonna have a bit play around and try and work out exactly what's going on with it. But yeah, there's a 7-degree drift, and I don't know why, but I will work that out. It might just take us a little while, and that's a job for another day. 7 degrees local is not really that much of a difference, but obviously with a long DX it would be, as long as you just make sure that you make the adjustments you need to in order to get to the destination that you want this signal to get to. So that's it for there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this recording and I'm going to edit it all together, and I'm going to show you where my controller is. It's only temporary at the moment, it's not a permanent fixture. In the summer I need to get in, sort the garage out, and I'm going to properly put it on the shelf, set it all up nice and neat. I've even got a Ring camera in there pointing towards the screen, where if I haven't managed to sort out that 7-degree drift, what I can do is I can log in to the Ring camera, and I can actually see the screen of the actual Yaesu controller, and I can adjust it accordingly from the computer without having to keep going into the garage to change it. Okay, for those watching in America, you call the garage a garage. No real difference. We use it for storage, and we've got a little bit of a gym in there, but yeah, we don't use it for cars, etc. So next part of this video will be the actual controller unit moving without me actually touching any of it. And yeah, we will have, well, I'll try and get 2 cameras set up so we can see it working both at the same time. If not, I might just have to walk out with a camera in my hand and show you it actually working. Okay, so yeah, we'll edit this together like I say, and next bit coming up soon, guys. Take care. Okay guys, so you'll have to excuse the mess on the shack. It's a right mess at the moment. I've been having a good sort through bits and pieces, and yeah, so this is basically just to show you that there is no controller for a rotator here at all, even down in the cupboard where we have literally, we've got the power supplies, the power meter, SWR meter, and then some various other tools, etc. There is no controller there at all for a rotator. Okay, there's the antenna. The antenna is pointing north. Okay, and all I'm going to do is, I don't know, we've got Romania still programmed there, so let's point it to Romania. So I'm going to click go. You can see the antenna is starting to rotate. No, it's not, because I didn't press the button. So let's just type in 110 degrees. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this with my hand and work a laptop at the same time. So you can see the green line is moving, and if you watch the antenna, that will now turn around as it's doing, and it will point towards Romania, the bottom half of Romania. But yeah, all the governance for that, the controller, the Wi-Fi board is all inside of the garage. Okay, and it will literally stop, and I will show you. And it might be slightly off by about that 7, 8, 9 degrees. But there we go, it's stopped. And when I come over here, you can see there, it's saying that it's actually at 103. I've set it at 110. But like I say, on here, I'm not too sure if this means between them two lines that the signal is coming between them two lines or what, I don't know. But that red one there is where I'd selected earlier on. So if I click up here, and sorry, I'm just struggling to use both hands. So it's gone to Italy. Yeah, so that red line is my intended path using this. And the green line is where the antenna is actually pointing to. So I don't actually want Italy, but I've not pressed go. But the green line is where the antenna actually is at the moment. Okay, so let's rotate it round to 359 degrees. The only thing I don't like about this rotator, it's noisy, and from all the research I've done and videos I've watched, all Yaesu rotators are noisy compared to my old one. My old one is just sat here. There it is there. I'm actually getting rid of that. So, so that's going to be up for sale. Or it is up for sale. But that's what I was using. But yeah, so let's rotate this around and we'll go and have a look at the governors inside of the garage. So click go. Yeah, that's moving. Not sure if you can hear that rotator. And that is it there. There's the ring camera, so I can see what's happening on the screen. I haven't touched anything, and all the magic happens through that. That will be put into a box. I just haven't managed to get the box. The box is only like £5 or something to put it in, and then all that will be nice and secure in there. But yeah, all working an absolute treat.